Welcome to 8-Bit Basic. This is Alligator, and yes, it's exactly what it looks like. You're an alligator. You eat fish and seaweed. It's deeply sophisticated stuff. This continues my series from Games for Your Commodore 64 Book 2. I've been slowly working my way through these, and if you've seen any of the earlier videos in the series, you know the drill. Now, the game runs. It works. But when I started playing it, I noticed something pretty wrong. I double-checked the code, and it was all correct. Now, I've had a go at optimizing it, and to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure I made it better. I might have made it worse. So today, we're going to find out together. The black circles are the bombs that you definitely don't want to hit. The red asterisks, well, they're exotic fish, in case you couldn't tell. The green symbols, they're our seaweed. I'm going to go across a bit, do a bit of chomping. You do get different amounts of points based on what you eat. I'm going to go back up and get myself some air that is indicated by the black bar above. So that's a nice little feature of the game. Also really enjoying the chomping, which is two sprite definitions just alternating between each other. Now here is the problem that I discovered. The yellow fish are very important to eat. Now I'm still pressing the button. The game has it's really frozen. It's really laggy. So what happens is Basic starts executing a whole bunch of code to do with checking the sprites. Let me get back to one of those yellow fish again. So the goal of the level is you want to be able to make it all the way to the end of the screen, eating all of the yellow fish so that you don't lose any lives. But it's just so slow every time you eat a fish that it's actually really quite difficult. You almost have to come off the air every single time. Maybe that's how the game was supposed to be played. Maybe that's part of the game difficulty, but it's just so challenging. Ugh. And I'm going to have to go up again. Otherwise, I've got no chance. And if you do make it across without eating all the yellow fish, you do get to the next level, but you do lose a life. Let's go have a quick look at the code that is causing a slowdown. And remember, you can use the chapters to skip to any other sections in this video. Here is the full code for people that like to have a look. There it comes flying by. All the peaks, all the pokes, and some data statements for our sprites and a few various other things. Now I'm going to go through what really slows things down. List 235. So this is our first statement. What it does is it's checking the sprite-to-sprite collision register in the VIC chip. So basically it says if the alligator has collided with any of the yellow fish sprites, then we're going to go sub, so we're going to go down to 500. So let's look at that. Line 500, F1 equals 0. So F1 is going to be the fish that's eaten. So it starts off by clearing it up and just assumes that 0, no fish have been eaten. 505, so here is where we start to get mathsing. For j equals 1 to 7. So this is a loop that needs to happen 7 times. So that's the first thing that can slow down. 7 times because we have 7 yellow fish sprites. Here is where the real confusing stuff begins. K2 equals peak. So all of this maths here is going to figure out which sprite we are looking at. And there's a whole bunch of things that have to happen in this first part to find the X value of the sprite because we want to know its position. The reason it's tricky is because the screen width essentially, generally a sprite can go across 320. It can be a bit longer, but the visible part is 320. Now 320 cannot fit into 1 byte because 1 byte goes between 0 and 255. So that's why we have to do all of this computation and additional mathematics to find out the proper X position. So underneath here, I've written an example that hopefully is going to make clear what this code does. So we're using sprite 1 as an example, and its X position is 300. So 300 minus 256 is 44. So the VIC register for this first part that we're looking at would contain 44. So in our formula, J1, J equals 1 for sprite 1. So K2, it's going to peak V, which is 53248. And that was the start of the sprite XY register. So in 53248 is X position, 53249 is the Y position. So the formula peaks there, and then it adds it to 2 times J, or in 2 times 1. So the peak, it's peaking at 35250. And this is going to give us our sprite's low byte position. So it sees the number 44. So when it does that peak in 35250, it gets the number 44. So the first part of our formula is K2 equals 44 plus, let's keep going. Now I mentioned that Sprite uses more than 8 bits because it can go further than 255. So each Sprite uses a bit in a shared high bit register, and that high bit register is 53264. Because there can be 8 sprites, so Sprite 0 uses the first digit if we're thinking in binary, Sprite 1 uses the second digit, Sprite 2 uses the third, so I hope that all makes a little bit of sense. So actually every sprite, as I understand it, refers back to this for its extra digit for the X position. Is that clear as mud? So now the formula. For the second half, it is peaking 53248, which is V, plus 16. So then that gets us to our shared high bit register for all the other sprites. So it gets us to that part. And as our sprite is beyond 255, bit 1 is set. So how I understand it is, this is the bit for sprite 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, well actually sprite 1 because it starts at 0. So let me start that again. Because we have sprite 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sprite 0. So that's how we get the 8. So this bit is on, and that bit is in the 2 column. So that is 2. So when it peaks into this register, it sees the number 2. Now the formula up here says peak there and 2 to the power of J. So J was 1, so 2 to the power of 1 is 2. So when it is peaking here, it is 2 and 2. So when it sees 2 and 2, that will just keep the number 2 because they match. So all of this then comes down to, actually there's, yes, I still kept the formula, thank goodness. There's one part that I forgot to mention here. It does 2 to the power of 8 minus J. So in our formula, 8 minus J is 1, so it's going to be 8 minus 7. So now when we put all of this together, K2 equals 44 plus 2 to the power of 7 times 2. So if we need to figure out our 2 to the power of 7, so that equals 44 plus 128 times 2. With our order of operations, we have to do 128 times 2. So K2 equals 44 plus 256. So that gives you the X value of 300. Ta-da! Did that make sense? Did you get there? So I hope that explains at least a little bit, or at least you understand the complicated process that we have to go through, because the X position can't just fit into one byte. It needs to use that shared byte register. So that's why that line is so complex. K3, it's a little bit easier. This formula is just to find the Y position. And because Y doesn't go over 255, the upright, it just has to peak V, which we've already seen is 53248 plus 2 times J, in this case, which is 1. So times 1 times 1. So then whatever value is there, that's what it's going to be. So that's how line 505 works. Let's just go look at all the others in that section, so then we can understand why it is such a bottleneck. 507, this Go Sub 1000 is going to be doing a quick redraw of the screen, update the timer during the fish check. So in the middle of all of this maths and all of this checking, we have a screen update. So that slows down things a little bit as well. 510. This is a similar formula to before, and what this is doing is calculating the alligator's full X position, including the low byte and the high byte, because we need to know where the alligator is on the screen. 512. This checks the current fish sprite is still active or already gone, so it checks the register to see is the fish on or off. 515 tests if the fish is in the small bite zone in front of the alligator's mouth. And by bite zone, I mean the alligator actually biting, not a bite or a bit. So this is another tricky part of the code, because if you're not in the exact right spot, the alligator will not eat the fish. So this is more maths that's running. So 540, if it wasn't that fish, it moves on to the next fish. So here we go, we're going back through the loop and doing even more maths. And if no fish was found, then it exits. 545 checks the leftover condition. That doesn't really do anything useful because there is actually no line 350 in the code. So I'm not sure why that one snuck through, but there it is. 547 is going to add to the score, remove the eaten fish sprite, and the GoSub 1000 redraws the display again at the top. And then 548 clears the collision flag and returns to the main game loop. So if any of your part of crocodile touches any fish, it goes through all of this. So that's why it is so slow, particularly even if your body is touching it, you just get really stuck and the game really, really, really lags as soon as you collide with the yellow fish. Load Alligator 8-bit basic, (8). As I said, if you've seen my videos before, you know I like to sort of tweak things a little. So I had a go at trying to improve the code, see if I could get it running a bit better. I have done one of my lovely intro screens again, Commodore 64 Games Book 2 by Greg Barnett, Alligator with tweaks by 8-bit basic YouTube channel. Use Q, Z, and P to move to the right of the screen. Come up for air and don't eat the explosive mines. Eat all the yellow fish. The red fish and seaweed are tasty too. So there's a few things happening here in the background. So that's another reason I put the load screen. It's doing some things that I hope you will like. And now we are ready to press start. So the screen redraws, but this time you will notice I have changed our little red fish to, kind of like those Siamese fighting fish with all the pretty little fins. And that was my attempt at green seaweed. I left the black bombs as they were. Okay. I've also added a little chomp sound effect. And you'll notice we're no longer freezing and stalling and stuttering whenever we go over one of the yellow fish. I also included a lives counter at the top. So let's see if I can eat all of the yellow fishies. And part of the game code, you can go over the bombs as long as your mouth does not touch them. It's the same for everything really. So it's all about the mouth. That's where it's doing all the checks. So let's get our last yellow fish and make it 2. Am I going to get it? Come on. Just next level. There we go. And there is part of the code where the timer actually speeds up as you go through each level, so it does become more difficult. Now I want to hear from you. Drop into the comments. Have I made the game too easy? Because we don't have that slowdown now, has the game become too easy? Do you need that slowdown to be part of the difficulty? Do you like my custom characters that I've done, or should I have left it all original? Let me know what you think. Again, I've made it clear this is the 8-bit basic version. I've just built on the excellent game that somebody else has already created. There's definitely no way I would have been able to create this from scratch. But I like my little changes. And you also have more time to eat some more of the fishies if you would like, because they're all worth points too, the fish and the seaweed. Oh, have I stuffed it? Am I going to be able to get that fish? I don't think I am, because if I go down here, I will eat the mine, and I am too far over because you have to approach the fish directly from behind. That's all right. So because I didn't get a fish, I will lose a life. And I did leave the sprite there because that's what the original code did. The original code does not turn all the sprites off until the very end of that screen. Those have been my changes. Let me now show you the nice bomb eating routine. It's a bit of fun as well. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Oh, I missed it. Let's go eat the bomb. Cool. Now what I want to do is quickly show you what I did to the code to improve that routine that checks for the sprite collision. Let's have a look. Here comes the code to my 8-bit basic version. So lots of similarities there, but you are going to notice down, I've included some more subroutines. That's my intro page. Above there were some pokes for the various characters, but now we have a lot more data statements. So what I've done is I have converted the routine that used that slow basic to do all the checks into data statements, therefore machine language. So what I'm going to do is just give you a quick look at what the machine language looks like. In my last video, I said machine language was complicated, and people rightly pointed out machine language is actually simple. It's a much more simple way of communicating with the processor. When I said it was complicated, I just mean that I didn't understand how to interpret it. So what I'm going to do is show you what the machine code version looks like of that same routine. Now, I did record myself reading this entire thing, but I think at this time of the video, it's probably just better for me to put the information there. If you want to go through it yourself, hit that pause button and give it a read. You'll see that it does go through pretty much the same steps, but because it's all happening in machine code, it goes through much, much faster. If you've made it this far, I genuinely thank you. These videos take me a little while to put together, but knowing that people are watching it and enjoying it and maybe even learning something new, it really means a lot. If you want to see more Commodore 64 basic game deep dives, more typing, maybe more updates, more breaking, some accidental improvements, hit subscribe. It's totally free. It really helps me more than you think, and I promise I'm going to keep making these videos about these really old games. Drop a comment and let me know. How do you feel about this upgrade? Should I have left it alone? What were your thoughts? I really do love hearing from you all. If you liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything that I do, and I'm going to see you all again soon for some more 8-Bit Basic.